All right, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha, Kwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that teaches word in all true faith and sincerity. And today I just want to title this lesson, The End of the Road for E. And we're seeing, this man has pretty much ran his course. He's not prospering as he once did. His strength is failing. And these are the signs that show us that we are at the end of the world, the end of this age. The end of this man is his rulership. And there's signs here and there to show us where we at in this process. You see the failing economic structure, the talk of wars in the earth, this digital system, the Karagma. It's being more and more pushed to the forefront. These are the signs that show us those tokens our Lord have told us to look for. Let us know that he's about to make his return. But I got this article from ABC News, and it reads, Fuel leaks ruins NASA's second shot at launching moon rocket. So as you see, it's not about the article itself, just the point. These different failed attempts. This man trying to go to the moon, which he never did go. And it's not just the only time he have failed on something in recent time. When he brought forth the Crown Vic, that was a failed attempt. That's why you think there was so many variants and so many strands. And now you got the MP, the monkeypox. Because ain't shit working for this man no more. Pretty much the Lord have stopped watering this man. He's not prospering as he once did. Because ultimately he has ran his course. So, like I said, it's not about the article itself, but just the point is that he's failing at everything he put his hand to. I'm going to read a little bit of it. It said, NASA's moon rocket sprang another dangerous fuel leak Saturday, forcing launch controllers to call off their second attempt to send a crew capsule into lunar orbit with test dummies. See, the first attempt earlier in the week was marred by escaping hydrogen, but those leaks were elsewhere on the 322-foot rocket, the most powerful ever built by NASA. So you see this man putting a lot of time, energy, and resource into this, the most powerful rocket. And you can't get the motherfucker off the ground. But that's how it's going to be with his new world order ultimately. The Lord going to allow this man to bring forth that thing. Well, it tells you why he's eating. That's when the Lord's going to rain upon him. So he's really not going to get this shit out the ground. Just like this rocket. He wanted to shoot it to the moon, so-called, which he's not. He never been. He can't go to the moon. It never got off the ground, man. It says, let's see. It says NASA Administrator Bill Nelson said repair work could bump the launch until October. Mission managers plan to meet later in the day to decide on the course of action. After Tuesday, a 2-week launch blackout period kicks in. Extensive leak inspections and repairs, meanwhile, could require that the rocket could be hauled off the pad and back into the hangar. That would push the flight into October, Nelson said. So yeah, man, he had to go back to the drawing board at the end of the day. So, like I said, it's not about the article itself. That's just another subtle sign to show you that he's at the end. The Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, is trying this man up. Matter of fact, let's start off with that in the book of Ezekiel, the 17th chapter, and chapter 24. It reads, and all the trees of the field shall know that I, the Lord, have brought down the high tree. See, and Yahweh Hashem Shai is doing this to where everyone is seeing this. It tells you that pretty much this man's going to be a reproach before the nations. You know, he's going to be a reproach before the nations. So it's going to be a public display of the downfall of the so-called white man. We've seen the process. It's ultimately going to be perfected and cemented by the way of World War III. But these are sort of signs. Oh, another sign when the Capitol riot and all those different the kings of the earth, you know, they pretty much was giving their 2 cents in on how that was a shameful thing to see, to witness America, so-called the greatest country on earth, go through some shit like that. That just shows us that we at the end of the so-called white man's run. But it's the Lord that's bringing down this, and that's a process being brought down, the destruction, the destructuring of this devil. We're seeing it. The very pillars that upheld this man is being brought down. You know? In every aspect, you know, it's a point in time you had the retail apocalypse, these different stores, big box stores, Sears and shit like that. They're no more again. Last year, a year and a half back, you had the restaurant apocalypse, where a lot of these, restaurants was closed down, these different mom and pop shops was shut down. And that's just scratching the surface. It just shows you, the Lord is strategically breaking this man down. You know? It says, have exalted the low tree, and you seeing it as well. That's being put on display publicly by the way of the prophets being raised up. It tells you the Lord, he's going to show his salvation. He's going to be shown in the midst of the heathen. Or it tells you the Lord's going to set us up in order before their eyes. You know? Spirit. It says, have dried up the green tree. And this man has been dried up. He don't have that wisdom. The Lord pretty much has dried this man up. He lacked the wisdom now. That's why he's about to be overthrown, because that's a key component in dealing with rulership. That's why you read the scriptures, the Lord talk about, it tells you wisdom and might are his. Because that's how you rule, by the way of wisdom. Or it tells you that also in the book of things, that's Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter. You desire thrones and scepters, you have to honor wisdom, man. So this man has been dried up. Matter of fact, let's get some in the book of Job. Job chapter 8 and verse 11. It reads, can the rush grow up without mire? Can the flag grow without water? And no, he can't. Because that would give his strength. In this case, with the so-called white man, he's not going to be able to proceed because the Lord have pulled back them waters. That's why this man, his counsel is going to cast him down. He's making rash decisions that's going to hurt him more than hurt anybody else. It says, while it's yet in his greenness and not cut down, it withereth before any other herb. See, yeah, because it perceived that this man is he's still in power, because his face still on the money. He still got his military might. It's perceived that he's, still in his strength, his fullness, full of vigor, But it said it withered before any other herb, see? And that's what we're saying. If you had spiritual eyes, that this man is withering away. He don't have that strength as he once did. All the way to the, his influence is fading. I tell you, this world fadeth away. I believe that's over there in South Africa. Pretty much the Edom, you look like an Edomite. You can't be promoted as a symbol of beauty. You've been taken away from different commercials to promote a form of beauty. But an Edomite is not the model of it now. They're not the standard of beauty now. So on all levels, the devil is being faded out. It says, so are the paths of all that forget the Most High, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish. See? And what does this man hope to crown his enterprise success? To fulfill his new world order. Well, guess what? That's not the case. The Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, is going to upset this man and his plans. So going back to Ezekiel 17 and verse 24, it reads, and all the trees of the field shall know that I, the Lord, have brought down the high tree, have exalted the low tree, have dried up the green tree, see, and have made the dry tree to flourish. And that how we're flourishing by the rivers of living water. This word that's what has quickened us. This is what has given us the strength. The words of Yahweh Shema Shai. And this is the same thing that's what's weakening Esau. This is what's causing him to wither away. It says, I, the Lord, have spoken and have done it. And see, and we seen the words of Yahweh Shema Shai manifest. The end is, man, his rulership. He has pretty much have met his end now. Going back to Job chapter 7 and verse, it's like it's 14. Well, I can read 7. That's another one. Job 7 and 1. It says, is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? See, which that can be for man, an individual, but on a bigger scale concerning rulerships and empires. There's an appointed time where, the Lord has set up these kings to rule and to follow. It says, are not his days also like the days of an hireling? Yeah, because Esau was pretty much hired for a specific job. He wasn't hired to be the ruler, just to be the ruler of the earth and be the symbol of how to rule. No, he was a symbol on what not to do. That's an example. He wasn't meant to be a perpetual ruler. He was meant to show what not to do. And then it tells you that he was given a sword to take peace from the earth. He was to show you why the law, statutes, and commandments need to be implemented. Why there should be a land separate. Why you deal with certain laws dealing with your neighbor. The dietary law. We see why. And the Lord used Esau to show us, man. So that's why pretty much this man is at the end of his job. He's at the end of it. Now he's about to bring forth that Quran. And then that's when the destruction is going to take place, man. So going to Job 14 and 5, it says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. See? So the Lord already got this man's due date on the spiritual calendar. It tells it in the book of Revelation, the 9th chapter, is appointed time, day, month, year, to the very second when the third part of men will be slaves, which the third part of men are the sons of perdition, which are the Edomites. When you go into the three classes of men, you got the sons of God, which are the Israelites, the sons of man, which are the other nations. Then you have the sons of perdition, which are the Edomites, because this man, his fate is destruction. It tells you that also in Malachi, the Lord pretty much laid his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. That's when America's destroyed. Because the only thing that's going to inhabit this place is desert creatures, all types of unclean animals, man. That's it, man. That's his inheritance, destruction. You know. But it said the Lord appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So there's a barrier. And Esau is coming on it. And he's doing all he can. It's just like kicking a locked door down, a fortified door down. You know. Matter of fact, let's get that. I think that's in Job 38, I believe. Yep. Job 38 and 10 says, and break up forward my decreed place and set bars and doors. See, so this is a decree. Those bars and doors are barriers. Because the Egyptians couldn't go past the time the Lord had appointed them. The Greeks, they couldn't go the time that was appointed them. The Babylonians and these empires that came and went. It was a decree that they had to stop there. You know? It says, and said, hitherto shalt thou come, see, but no further. See, so it's a due date where this man is going to be knocked off his high horse, man. And we seeing it. We seeing the process of this man. Over time, he's becoming weaker. You know? Well, he always been weak when he been hiding behind his technology. But, that's why I tell you in the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, says, this the man? We's doing that now. That's that process now. You know? It says, and hitherto, like I said, hitherto shalt thou come, but no further. And here shall thy proud ways be stayed. See? So here. It says, and here shall thy proud ways be stayed. See? So it's, the Lord said here. And it says proud ways. That's associated with the so-called white man. That's just one of his characteristics. Pride. That's one of the things that's associated with this man. That's just like a certain animal. There's a certain attribute that sticks out with him. You know, you might think about it when you think about a serpent. You might think about his fangs. So when you hear about pride or the proud, that goes back to the so-called white man. All up to this day, with his national anthem, how he promote his military, the few, the proud, the Marines, proud to be an American. You know? Oh, you got gay pride. But it says, here shall thy proud ways be stayed. So meaning what? Is it commanded for you to just stop here? To whatever point of time the Lord have told you, and no matter how much you fight and toss and turn, there's no way you can prevail. No matter how many laws and legislations, or you enlarge your budget, your military budget, none of that shit gonna matter. None of that shit don't matter, because it's decreed from Yahweh Bashim Hawashai. So matter of fact, we'll wrap it up with this in the book of Jeremiah 5 and 22. It reads, fear you not me, saith the Lord? Will you not tremble at my presence? With the presence of the Lord is the prophets. And they're not fearing, because if they did, they would concede. You know, they're wavered in their accounts because they trying to come up with a way around the prophecies. Like somehow, some way they can upset the prophecies. You know, well, that's not the case. It says, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree that it cannot pass it. See? So just going back, the Lord has, dealing with these empires and rulerships. They're not going to be able to pass, just like the sea, those different ways. The sand is what's stopping them from coming on land. When you read that in the book of 2 Ezra, the 4th chapter goes into it, how the sea try to counsel with each other to overtake the forest. It says, likewise, the forest took counsel to take away the sea. Was that really the so-called white man, trying to expand really this great reset, the New World Order. But it said the sand stopped the waves from overtaking the forest, and it said that fire burnt the forest, man. Pretty roughly paraphrasing. So that's what the Lord is doing. It's saying, they're going to time, because this man has ran out of time. And that fire is going to be by the way of World War III. You know? It says, and though the ways thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. And yeah, this man is he's gonna do that by the way of his military. His temper tantrum is going to play out by the way of these draconian laws being played out in the military at your door. It says, though they roar, yet can they not pass over. So guess what? No matter what decree, what law, what legislation, it don't trump the words of Yahweh Shema Shai. That's why I say the word of a king, there is power. And who may say unto it, what doest thou? Who is you to reply against Yahweh Shema Shai? Like he called the wrong play. No, everything's going according to schedule. Just going back, we seeing that this is the end of the road of so-called white man. He's not prospering on no level. You know? He's not, the only thing he's doing is failing. Now you hearing the words attempt, the second attempt, the third, you know, because he's drying up. He's losing his power. This is just another sort of sign to show us that we are at the end of the world, the end of this age, the end of his reign of terror. So yeah, Akim, I just hope that we're edifying, let to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Yachakudash. There were honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, that teach word, not true faith and sincerity. DTA, abide by. Soon, very soon.